So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it.
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Well, good. Hey, now, what you say now? It's your girl LaTangela, and thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to hang out with me as we'll chat about this, we'll chat about that for the LaTangela Show. It's another episode, and I look forward to speaking with you each and every week. I want you to join the conversation. Hit me up on the Twitter alert at LaTangela Faye. And of course, you can find all of my links posted at LaTangela.com. Now, Monday through Sunday, that's about 7-8 days out the week, it's the voice inside your speaker box. Turn me on and turn me up. WEMX FM, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the podcast. New episodes are dropping every Friday morning. Make sure that you're subscribed. Leave a review. Favorite cousin, give me about 5 stars. I'll take that if you don't mind. We have a lot of random research, did you know, news brief, and the inside scoop all coming up. And if it's your birthday, anniversary, or maybe you just want a shout out because you want one, chime in. Let's talk about it. Here in our state, we're still in phase 2. COVID-19, it is rocking the nation, and here in our state, we have actually ranked number 1 with the most cases per capita in the country. Yeah, we're getting a lot of news briefs, we're getting a lot of information about wearing those face masks as it is now mandated by the state. We're also getting a lot of information about social distancing. It's still a thing, and of course, washing our hands often, and at least for 20 seconds. And if you're feeling stressed, one of the resources that our state has provided was the Keep Calm Through COVID hotline. Now, maybe you don't need someone to talk to, but you know someone who does. Leave it to the professionals. Make sure you put this number on speed dial, retweet, hashtag, send it. 1-866-310-7977. Again, that's the Keep Calm Through COVID hotline. It's 1-866-310-7977. And speaking of COVID, over the week, headlines have been swirling. And, sometimes I like to hear the story all the way through. I like to get all sides and really ask questions that need answers, especially before we're so quick to turn people and situations into memes when we really should be paying attention, asking questions, and asking the resources to say, hey, what if? So over the past week, you have Dr. Stella Emanuel. She made headline news, and she is a Houston-based doctor that says she's been actually using an anti-malaria drug, and it goes by the name of hydroxychloroquine. Now, with this, she said that she claims to have healed or to have treated successfully over 350 patients, all that were positive with COVID. And before we start turning her into a meme and asking for facts, after she stated that she has helped 350 patients with underlying issues and everything else that did not die at the cause of COVID-19. All right, questions that need answers. If it were you or a loved one, would you say, hold on, wait a second, wait a minute. What was that Dr. Stella was talking about? Let me try that as a resource. If it were you or a loved one, would you be willing to entertain the conversation in that moment? With the media, I think that sometimes we get a retweet and a hashtag, and we forget to ask for facts, and we forget to ask, what questions would be really relevant in the time of need. Now is the time of need, and maybe we're so quick to turn away from it because of the original source where we first got it. Man, listen, you better pick and choose your battles. I think I would be willing to entertain the conversation a little bit more than what they're doing right now. Now, speaking of taking a quick field trip out to Texas, you see that people really aren't taking this COVID situation as seriously as they should. Around the world, making a quick field trip, there's a thing called Testicle Festival. Have you ever heard of it? Okay, well, there's a first time for everything. And according to headlines, the Texas Testicle Festival in Fredericksburg, Texas, it was scheduled to be canceled, but they changed their minds. even amidst COVID-19, they decided to have this event, which is called the Testicle Festival. And a lot of people showed up. They showed up and they were willing to risk their lives to eat lots of different animal testicles. That goes to show you how seriously people are taking COVID-19. I'm like, first of all, I didn't know there was such a thing. And now that I know, and I see you're willing to risk your life to go to this, for that. Taking a quick field trip around the world, COVID-19 has caused a shortage for a lot of things. Last week I told you it caused a shortage on coins, and the Mint, they're asking us to spend coins. Okay, I felt that I could help them out with that. So if I'm going to make an essential run, instead of swiping the card, if I have some nickels and some dimes and some quarters and some pennies, I'll spend that. Well, fellas, this week around the world, they're asking for your help. There's a sperm bank in China that is currently begging men to make donations because they're facing a shortage due to COVID-19. Fellas, are you willing to help? Fellas, China say they're depending on you. Here's your chance to give back. I say, wow, okay. There's been a large increase in hunting and fishing licenses. I've been noticing on my timeline, people are out and about fishing and hunting and figuring it out as they go. Well, due to people looking for extra activities, they're selling more bikes, you'll notice that, and they're also raising the stakes with hunting and fishing licenses because people are just dying to get back outdoors. We need something to do that's going to be safe and something that's great for the entire family. I like it. Now, you know, when it comes down to some of this random research, I'm the queen of random research, and I had to dig deep. And my friends over at Study Finds, they found some really weird stuff. You can have days where you can have those cheat days, get in some extra calories. I say, wait a minute, now you're talking. Well, they say that there are certain days and certain times that you can eat an insane amount of calories and not gain a pound. I say, how was that? Because I can walk by and smell a cupcake and bloop, just like that. It's an extra 20 squats that need to be added to the routine. I'm trying to figure this out. But a new study stemming out of England found that if you can eat an insane amount of calories, would you? They said, yes, I would. They said that our bodies can actually handle and process an extra burst of calories really well, as long as you don't do it too often. Now, you know, that sounds good, especially when you're trying to justify your habits. But on the podcast this week, I'm talking to Coach Chris Melancon. He is a fitness motivation coach, and he is going to give us the inside scoop. Maybe on some of those cheat days, maybe on some of those routines, and maybe just a friendly reminder of, did you get your steps in today? But we're going to talk about it. They did also mention in that study that the magic stops working if you have these cheat days too often. Well, when you say a cheat day, could somebody please etch that out for me? A cheat day, does that include the chunky monkey? A cheat day, that includes eating after 8 o'clock? What is a cheat day to you? These are questions that need answers. Hit me up on the Twitter alert at LaTangela Faye. Now, you know, all of my links are posted at LaTangela.com, and I want to hear from you. It's about that time that our kids are getting ready to go back to the school grounds. Or are they? Some schools are going back some days out of the week. Some schools are 100% virtual. How has this pandemic affected you and your student? Are you prepared? These are questions that need answers, and I want to hear from you. So be sure to hit me up and let's talk about it. Now, 'tis the season. We're all ready for some football, baby. Now, the only NFL player with an MD, he opted out so he can treat COVID-19 patients instead. Now, Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, he actually plays for the Chiefs. Now, he just became the first player to say, this isn't going to work for me. And the NFL has about 1,700 players. A couple of weeks ago, you saw them stemming all of their concerns with a hashtag and letting us know that they did want to play, but they want to be safe. That's understood. He said that he's been treating COVID-19 patients during his off season, and if he was going to risk his life due to COVID-19, he'd rather do it helping others instead of playing football. And that's going to take his salary from about $2.8 million a year to about $150,000 from the NFL this year, because he is going to take that leave of absence. And he said, you know, I'm pretty sure that the Chiefs, they're going to do something well. They have a good plan in place to minimize the risk. But, you know, you can't eliminate all of the risk. All right, well, we wish him the best. You know what? There's this thing called Emojipedia. Have you heard of it? Emojipedia, like the encyclopedia to tell us what these emojis mean. They have so many different emojis, and a reportedly new amount just came out, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, what does this one mean? What is that? Oh, they have an emoji for this too? I was typing in goggles the other day to my mom, and a pair of goggles popped up. Who knew? Like, oh well, according to Emojipedia, they just analyzed which of the newest emojis have gotten the most use since they rolled out. Now, I had to select my top 5 because I didn't want to go through all of them. Some of them I'm trying to figure out who actually comes up with this stuff. But the top 5 new most used emojis: the white heart, the yawning face, the brown heart, the otter, and a hand making the pinching gesture. Like, I'm about this close. About this close. I don't know how much this close you are to whatever, but you've been about this close a whole lot because it made the top 5. Now, I do have questions that need answers on this otter. Who uses an otter emoji? What about the conversation calls for an otter or an emoji for an otter? Okay, maybe I need better conversations with better friends. So if you're sending emojis about otters, let's chat. Now, the least used are the brown square, the razor, the yo-yo, and the Hindu temple. I didn't even know that they had an emoji for the yo-yo and the razor. Really? Okay. Thanks, Emojipedia. I read it and I had to tell it, so I might as well tell it to you. Now, this one I really love. Don't judge me because I laughed a lot harder than I should have. And it is what it is. Sometimes you get bored and you just have to conduct some of the random research, you know, some of that feel-good news. And some of the news to let you know that you're not going crazy. There's always someone else that can top yours. So the weirdest town names in all 50 states. I just picked some of my favorites because someone actually compiled a list of all of the weird names of different cities in different states. So here are a couple of my favorites. Remember, this is a judgment-free zone, okay? Booger Hollow, Arkansas, and Booger Hole, West Virginia. These are actual places on the map. Number 8, Missouri, and 96, South Carolina. Okay. Paint Lick, Kentucky. Haven't met anyone from Paint Lick, Kentucky, have you? Accident, Maryland. How did you make your way out here to Maryland? Accident, you know what I mean? Like, how does that happen? Okay, oh God, no. Okay, here's one. Have you ever heard of Satan's Kingdom, Massachusetts? So where do you reside? I reside in Satan's Kingdom, Massachusetts. Time to move. I guess the zip code is what, 666 or something? I mean, what we doing here? Coming in at number 6 on the list, you have Dummer, New Hampshire. Dumber. Handsome Eddie, New York comes in at number 7. Number 8, the founders of these 3 must not have been impressed at all. They have Dull, Ohio, Boring, Oregon, and Bland, Virginia. Okay, coming in at number 9 on some of the most weird names of cities across the 50 states that they had listed. Some random sounds almost made the list, like Eek, Alaska. Okay, then they have What Cheer, Iowa. You have Zap, North Dakota. Okay, I like this one. Ding Dong, Texas. Okay, so lots of animal names also made the list. You have Frog Eye, Alabama. Catfish Paradise, Arizona. Flea Hill, Delaware. Chicken Bristle, Illinois. Okay, somebody got to explain that to me. Just as much as they have to explain Elephant Butt, New Mexico. Plenty Bears, South Dakota. Mosquitoville, Vermont. And Worms, Nebraska. Okay, so if you're planning to travel after this pandemic is over, maybe we'll find you in some of these weird named cities. I'm pretty sure tourism is down and they are looking for us. Have you ever heard of those? Do you live in one of those weird cities? Please, somebody fill me in. Hit me up. Twitter alert, at LaTangela Faye. And of course, I want you to chime in. All of my links are posted at LaTangela.com. Now let's take us a quick field trip around the world in 120 seconds or less. Here, you can set your timer. Body odor isn't a big deal if you're not around people, right? Okay. Well, according to deodorant sales being down during the pandemic, according to Unilever, they make brands like Dove and Axe. They say, well, maybe because people are sitting at home, they're willing to smell themselves because it's not like they're buying our deodorant. Now, that's mighty bodacious of them. I'm thinking, well, maybe they just switched to secret and ain't told nobody. Catch that. Okay, so a guy in Florida, he's making headline news for all the wrong reasons. I can't make this up. Usually when we have a story from Florida, here it is. In Florida, I hate to pick on you because I have most of my subscribers from Florida. But dear Florida, a guy in Florida has been charged with fraud after he got $3.9 million in PPP loans and used the money to buy things like a Lambo. When I say Lambo, I'm talking about a Lamborghini. Yeah, probably had one of those tags needing insurance and a gas card. You know what I mean? Like, he did not think this through. The genius alert of the week goes to him. Okay, so the Butler County Fair in Ohio is still a thing. It's still going on, and they say, look, we're big on social distancing, so when you get in here for the Butler County Fair in Ohio, please stay 1 cow apart for social distancing. If I have to go somewhere and they're telling me to stay 1 cow apart, honey, I am in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong folks. I do not need to be up here yelling some 1 cow apart. And we're really in here counting, like, is that a calf or a whole cow? Like, what are we doing? Okay, well, here's something, because if you need questions answered, where do you go? Google. Google has announced it will keep its employees working remotely until at least a year from now. That's July of 2021. And that's worth noting because Google knows everything. So if you were to Google, when are we going back to work? Google, when are we going back to normal? As of right now, Google says maybe July 2021. Oh, hit a pause, Google, please. Tell me it's a glitch in the system. Now, the police in Miami, Florida, they out there thinking they slick or whatever. Dear Florida, they're reportedly setting up mask traps. Have you ever heard of that? The police in Miami are reportedly setting up mask traps. So if they catch people out and about without a mask, they're going to catch them and fine them $100. Because it's important that you mask up. Mask up. A goat was arrested in Camper, India for not wearing a mask. Now, I got questions that need answers on that, but I'm just going to let that alone because that goat did not have on his mask. And if it's a rule to have on a mask, the goat should have had on his mask. According to the rules and regulations in India, it is what it is. Now, let's have an honest moment, a heart-to-heart, because here we don't lie to each other. We're talking about it, right? So we've been talking about the state of the world, the state of our state and the pandemic. We're talking about these numbers. We're talking about preventive methods. We're talking about social distancing and wearing our masks. See, look, I keep my mask handy. I keep my mask handy. Thank you so much to Diane out in Colorado. She keeps me handy with some beautiful handmade masks to keep me stylish and safe. But honestly speaking, have you still been going out partying, hanging out at the picnics, the kickbacks? Now I'm asking because according to SWNS, they've conducted some random research and said that people, according to the research, have still been out here partying, and they're okay with that as long as the cameras don't leave evidence. According to a new survey, 54% of people say that they'll only break their quarantine and hang out with people right now if there's no evidence on social media. Now, the survey also found that 49% of people say they're only comfortable getting together with people if they know that everyone is going to wear a mask and if there are 6 or fewer people getting together. Now, at least they still have some rules and some guidelines in place. But man, I turn on the news and I see people out here throwing concerts at the bars. Like, we're doing parades in the middle of the street. Like, whoa, wait, what's going on? What's going on? So are you willing to go if it's 6 or less, or if there's no evidence on social media? I know you're tired of being locked up in the house right now. I know you miss your friends. I miss mine too. So how are you handling this? How are you coping through this? Honestly. Now, you know, just when you say stranger things have happened, I think I've outdone myself with this one. Sometimes you read news and you're like, yeah, I read that wrong. No, this one is too wrong, but it's right. According to my friends over at Metro, just when you say stranger things have happened, this comes along. The world's most identical twins share a boyfriend, and they want him to get them both pregnant at the same time. Do you hear me? 34-year-old Anna and Lucy DeSink of Perth, Australia are identical twins. Now, in fact, they were named the world's most identical twins at a festival, and they really take that seriously. As the most identical twins, they refuse to be more than a few feet apart. They dress alike. They share a job. They have the same plastic surgery done at the same time. They eat exactly the same number of calories every day. They exercise the same amount of time every day. And they even use the toilet at the same time. They didn't say if it was the same one or not, but I don't want to ask them questions because these are a little weird. Well, sharing is caring, according to them, and they say that it's only right that they share the same boyfriend. He's 39 years old. His name is Ben Byrne, and he quotes, "understands our bond," end quotes. Bond, is that what we're gonna call this? Bond? That's bond? That's bond. Okay, so now they want him to get them both pregnant at the same time, and they're asking the public for suggestions. Don't bring us into this. One, it ain't none of our business, but two, we're only here for the comments, sis and sis. That's it. Now, they're not totally sure how they're gonna pull this off, but they're thinking it may require IVF, and they plan to start a GoFundMe page because it could be quite expensive. What? But that's only a plan, and quote, they want to experience pregnancy together, end quote. I'm just gonna sit this right here and I'm gonna leave it at that. But you know what? Let's go to some serious news with the New York Post. Questions that really need answers, okay? When we get back to this thing called life, will you ever be able to go back to a non-flexible work schedule again? Right now, everybody's kind of working on a different schedule. And according to a new study, more than 3/4 of Americans say that they don't think they'll be able to ever go back to work at a schedule that isn't flexible. One, because their concerns will never go away of COVID-19, and they may need a stay-at-home based job. They may need 3 days on, 2 days working from home. They're not sure. Now, at the beginning of the year before the pandemic, the same folks were surveyed. They said, look, we just want more flexibility on our jobs. Now that they have it, they say, well, this may be exactly what we were looking for, just under really unfortunate circumstances. I don't know. How do you think you'll react when it's time for us to get back to some sense of normalcy? What does it look like for you? You know, everything is so different now, from grocery shopping to checking your mail. A lot of people are having issues getting, it's just like so many things are different. And I don't know if this is the new norm or if we just start unveiling it one day at a time. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Now, according to according to a new study that they conducted out in Switzerland, the key to being really happy, they found it. They said the key to being really happy is sometimes just saying screw it. Like, people in their opinions, screw it. Asking for permission from people who really don't concern your situation one way or the other, screw it. The researchers say, quote, of course, self-control is important, but research on self-regulation should pay just as much attention to short-term pleasure, end quote. They found that you need to be able to mentally put aside your responsibilities from time to time, get rid of your hang-ups, and even your long-term goals once in a while, because you truly need to relax. You need to enjoy your life. Now, as we all can attest, life is short and it happens fast. So I need to know, like, be it big or small, you need to find ways to balance through it all. Did you get your steps in today? Sometimes my steps will include the punching bag, the rowing machine, a jump rope, journaling, singing, calling my mama, playing Uno, trying to beat her in the game. You know, it just depends. Did you get your steps in today? Now, a part of my getting steps in, I actually finished etching a book that I began writing some time ago, and it's entitled Poof. P-O-O-F. Poof. Power over obstacles forever. You know, we are all going through different obstacles, and this is just a reminder that you have the power over obstacles forever. So whatever it is, you look at it, you tell it, poof, be gone. And this is one of the most transparent pieces that I've ever inked. It's the 4th book from the LaTangela Sherman collection. The others are posted at Amazon and on my website at LaTangela.com. I would love for you to check it out. But you know what? The first 4 people that slide into either my DMs or send me an email and hashtag Tea Time with Tan, bloop, just like that, the first 4, I'm going to send you a copy of my book, autographed. Now you can either read it, put it on your bookshelf, or use it as a table lover, but you're gonna get it. Tea Time with Tan. And be sure to hit me up, join the conversation. And you know, it's about time for me to get up and get out of here. I gotta get back to work. I have some more random research and news briefs to get, but I want to hear from you. So make sure that you hit me up at LaTangela.com. Now, you be safe, mask up. Social distancing is a thing. And if you're not feeling well, make sure that you're getting tested. But you know what? I really want you to check on your loved ones. Make sure you place that call, Zoom in, chime in, check on people just to make sure that they're okay. All right? I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Mwah. Good night.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Yep. Hey. Na, 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 na. I like to call this some of that feel-good music. Rock with me. The sunrise, and I look into your eyes. Now I feel what I never felt. What a surprise. What a surprise. I searched high and I searched low, 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 low. Been trying to find some peace of mind and a little love. But I never would have thought, turn around and here you go. It's you, all that I've been looking for. Peace of love and so much more. Poof. You've been there all along, and I never knew it. But now I do. 3, 2, 1, countdown. Next 30 seconds dedicated to you. Gotta take this time to say what I'm feeling, boo. You have been the missing link to me. Now I can see it all so clear for me. Right by my side from day one. How could I be searching for another one?